Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're returning. It's Elizabeth and it is the Solstice Gateway. So I just did a collective reading and a lot of twin flame energy came out in this reading that I just did. So if you want to refer back to that reading, you're more than welcome to. There were definitely a lot of twin flame messages and messages of union that were coming in, reconnecting, healing, releasing karma and old ties and kind of all of that energy. So I decided just to clear the decks, reshuffle them and come back on and do a full-on twin flame reading. So it's been a while since I have tapped into the energy of twin flame via a video. And because it is a very powerful solstice, and then we're getting into Lionsgate in August, I figured let's do a check-in. So let's read for the energy of the twins. So welcome to all of you who are returning. And if you're just finding this community, I welcome you as well. Sorry, there was one that fell on the floor. So let's see, we get the Arthur Continuum, and I'm actually going to be using the Arthurian tarot tonight. So King Arthur and the legend of Arthur's Round Table and everything that goes along with that, Avalon, all of it. So we're seeing King Arthur here, and it says, seek the guide with noble ideas. So this is the masculine on the horse, and this is definitely the energy that I'm feeling for the masculines, like inside of twin flame, that the masculine energy is in this place of change and movement and sort of a return to his heart, that there's been a lot of change inside of their life, and they're looking for nobility. It says seek the guide with noble ideals, and the Arthur Continuum. So a lot of your masculines, or if you are a divine masculine that's watching this, you have the Arthurian energy within you. So you have part of that blueprint is within you, and you are the continuum of that. So King Arthur was very noble, and he brought peace, and he was, he was trying to balance the worlds, and he didn't always do so in a perfect way. He was trying to balance the sort of Christianity that was coming into the world with the old teachings and the old ways that were more magical, that were more connected to the feminine. So it's the continuum of that, because many of us know how that ended with King Arthur and with, that timeline, with those legendary timelines, which I believe were real, that there was that reality existed. And so this is the continuum of that, where we sort of pick up the pieces from that. Many of the twins were together during those timelines, even going back to Atlantis and the times of the Christed timelines. So it's connected to the Christed timelines as well, with the Holy Grail and all of that. So this is the masculine energy coming out for us right away, seeking the guide with noble ideals. So I feel like it's a time for, like, they've learned a lot of lessons. They're moving away from some things that are in their life. They're moving away, and they're looking for more truth. They're looking for more honesty in their life, inside of their relationships, inside of just their dealings in their everyday life with people. And I feel that and like all of the cards are falling over, they're really being called, to go within and check in with their heart, and perhaps even to go in search of the feminine, which, would represent sort of the Holy Grail in this situation. So I'm going to take the card that stayed right there, and sorry about that. And we can just, we'll look at this one too. So interesting. Okay, so we're getting Archangel Michael here. And this is the guide that I called in to work with us earlier today. So this is transmutation on the tour. So the tour at Glastonbury, we're seeing Archangel Michael is up there. Sorry about that. Archangel Michael is up there with the sword, and then there is the dragon that is protecting this very holy, sacred egg. So that's creation. The egg would even represent the energy of the feminine in there. And this is a big transmutation of energy that's happening collectively for the masculine energy and inside of twin flame with Archangel Michael. Because I'm telling you, earlier today I called in Michael before I started filming these readings. So interesting. So the Glastonbury tour is where the ley lines meet of Archangel Michael or Saint Michael and I believe Mary Magdalene, interestingly enough. So there's a transmutation that's been happening inside of twin flame, and the egg is still there. So what I feel like it's saying is that not all is lost. There's still this potential. That's the egg. It holds the potential, and it's being protected by this dragon. And Michael above that with the sword of truth that's going right into the tour at Glastonbury on top of the hill there. So it's powerful energy. It says find the middle ground and compromise. So that may be where the union inside of what's happening inside of the union, because now here we're getting the feminine energy, and this is the angel of truth. Michael brings the sword of truth. It says reveal the truth that has long been hidden. And this is what the feminine is holding. She's actually holding a sacred chalice here. And what's around the chalice is actually, it looks like strands of DNA, or like pearl-like strands, like a string of pearls. And this angel is coming in to reveal a truth, the angel of truth. So we're getting two angels, and this deck doesn't have all angels in it. So I feel also this is what's happening for the masculine, is this big sort of like a transmutation of energy. Also where they have compromised too much in their life, where they have hidden their truth, where they have been suppressing their truth, is what's happening for them, that there's a lot being revealed to them right now. So they are also protected inside of this new path that they're on. They're being very, very protected here with a feminine angel and a masculine angel. And also for the feminine energy, I'm feeling that you are perhaps even going to have the opportunity to speak to your masculines. You're going to have an opportunity for communication, and you will be revealing a lot of your feelings. Like you will be able to express these things, and you will also be receiving a lot of clarity, because the masculine is coming in wanting to be very noble. The masculine energy is coming into its power here about, like, it's the mission. It's the mission, and they are the ones that are sort of moving towards union. And the feminine is, I feel, has been waiting for this because of all the purple, and with the angel, the feminine has been really looking at her own journey and seeing what's aligned with her, what's not aligned with her, and receiving a lot of truths inside of her own life. So with Michael coming in, that's also where cords are cut, where what's no longer serving has to go. It's asked to leave, and in a gentle, or maybe even sometimes not so gentle way. And I'm looking at the floor because there is a very white, I don't think I've ever seen a moth so white before. It is a purely white moth. I almost want to see if I could pick it up. Hang on, guys. I've never seen such a white moth before. You are so beautiful. All right, it's just crawling on me. Okay, so there's something in that, the white moth. The Luna moth, I know Luna moths aren't generally white. So the moth can signal, you know, when we talk about the moths, it's about the shadow and illuminating the shadow. And I don't know where it went, but I hope that you're okay. Wherever you went, I hope you're okay. But that's a pure white moth. So that, like, it's reminding me of this white horse. So there's something in that. You can look up moth spirit, but also when the moth is white, there's a purity about it. So this is, I feel like it's, again, a transmutation, and it's a transmutation of a lot of the shadow and the karma. Let's see what ended up at the bottom. So we're getting the feminine, Shamanica blessing. So this is the feminine shaman. Coming in, seek the wisdom of your shamanic guides. So the moth is a shamanic guide because it's connected to the shadow and the nighttime, and the shamanic energy goes into all of that. And there's two wolves, the white wolf and the gray wolf. She has a singing bowl. She's doing like a meditation here. She's doing some healing. So this is a blessing. This is a blessing from the shamans, but more specifically the feminine shamans. So this is a lot of transmutation and journeying through the energy of the feminine. Wow. Okay, so let's move on to the tarot. This is intense, very, very intense. So I do see forward movement inside of Twin Flame and inside of the Solstice energy, angels and dragons being with the twins. So let's look at the masculine energy here. The Ace of Swords, yes. And this is the Excalibur energy. It's the sword of strange hangings. The sword of strange hangings. And the sword and the crown are just placed on this bed here. So the sword is there and it's laying in wait. I'm hearing laying in wait. It's laying in wait for the masculines to pick it up and speak a truth. And interesting, we get the Four of Cups with the fading fellowship. So I feel this is the truth and clarity. Again, going back to Michael's sword and then the Ace of Swords, it's being passed on to the masculine. And this is where they haven't been feeling necessarily happy where they've been at. There's this sense of that their fellowship, the energies that are surrounding them on a daily basis have been stagnant, have been less than desirable, not making them happy at all. It's fading. So they're receiving this truth, and the fours are where you can stay stuck in a four energy. You can get stuck there. It's where there isn't a lot of movement, and this is where they can pick up the sword and they can go. It's interesting too because this is the sword of strange hangings. Sorry, and it's like this bed that is enclosed, like almost like a knight's bed or a king's bed, and it's very sort of enclosed there. And there's all of these hangings on the back, like pictures. So one of them is of a boat, the other one is of a grail, the other one is of a sword. I'm seeing a tree of life. I'm seeing two horses there. So there's a lot of symbolism around them. They're receiving signs. Strange hangings. So that's interesting. Let's just take off the top. The star, which came out in the last reading that I did for the collective. And this is the fire drake. So this is the comet or the shooting star or the asteroid that is the white dragon. And it symbolizes the promise of hope and healing. So the masculines are wishing. They're wishing for a higher path. They're wishing for their higher path. It's their higher self that's coming in. And this is where, like, here's like all of the sort of men out together at night. There may be some women in there too. And they've been through a very challenging time inside of their kingdom. So this was when I believe Vortimer, King Vortimer was ruling over the land. This was before Arthur. And they were taking down, it was the fall of that rulership under that king. And the fire drake or the star, it represented the promise of hope and healing and better days. And that's when the Pendragon came in. And that's when Uther Pendragon became the ruler. And then his son Arthur eventually became the king that was, you know, to be the king of legends and formed the Round Table and all of that. And the Holy Grail came into play. So this is where the masculines are at. They're fading fellowship, their surroundings no longer being, you know, acceptable, not making them happy, and they're really wishing for something new. They're wishing for healing. They're wishing for the promise of hope. So not compromising their own dreams and their own healing. And Michael's really bringing them the power to do that. We get the 10 of Shields with Camelot. So this is the promise. This is the wish, is for that. You know, it's this place where they've been at. It hasn't been, it hasn't been the place that I think deep down they knew that they wouldn't end up here. Deep down they knew that where they've been at, you know, wasn't going to be the place that they would stay, with the 10 of Shields there and the Magician. I mean, that's amazing. So we're getting Merlin. The energy of Merlin is coming out for the masculine. So yeah, they are in a place of taking their power back is what I'm seeing for the masculine. They're really taking their power back with the 10 of Pentacles and the Magician there. They're looking to create the life that they really, really want. So something's definitely been shifting for them in a big way. Let's check the bottom. The 3 of Spears, or the 3 of Wands, the Horse Fair. So this talks about trade and commerce with the Horse Fair. So I feel that a lot of this is around the action that they take out into the world. Who's in their inner circle? Who do they exchange energy with? Who are they networking with and finding their business? So because the Pentacles came out with the 10 of Pentacles, which is the completion, it's, you know, it's the legacy, it's stability, community, it's family, it's long-term plans, it's marriage, like it's union and all of that. Who's in their circle? Who are they? So they're really in a place of looking to manifest. They're looking to create wealth and abundance in their life, and stability and value within their life that feels noble. They're really coming into a place of a lot of awareness because they have this Ace of Swords right there. And below the 3 of Spears is the Sun. And this is like the knight who is in a total place of victory. I hope that it isn't too dark for you, but this knight is just in victory. He is, you know, totally victorious in his power, all of that. So let's get some messages for the feminines and see where is the feminine energy currently at. Okay, so we get Temperance and the Cauldron of Anwin. Wow, this is really amazing. So this is like all of the priestesses together here, and the energy of the Christ is behind the feminine here. So that's really beautiful. There's healing, unconditional love. You know, the Christ itself is here, and the feminine is in this place of waiting. I feel that, you know, this is where you have a lot of patience. This is where, you know, you are in this place of doing a lot of soul work. If you're feminine, the feminines have been doing a lot of soul work, a lot of inner alchemy, a lot of inner work, and really working with a lot of mixed emotions. So the feminines may be going through a place where there's like a lot of extremes, experiencing a lot of extremes, a lot of ups and downs, high highs and low lows. But you're finding purpose in this, and you're finding where this is actually a part of your divine plan and like the work that you came here to do. You're really learning a lot. Temperance is about our inner alchemy. So you're really alchemizing a lot of your own energies right now. But you're, I see where there's community around the feminine, and I see where there's purpose and in the cauldron. So I think it's also where you have been making the preparations for union. So really tending to yourself, tending to your own, you know, your own emotions, your own world, really tending to it, preparing the cauldron. So you are the Grail because you are the vessel. Whereas like the masculine here would be the one with the sword. You would be the one with the vessel. So it's Excalibur for the masculine, and then the Holy Grail for the feminine. So I feel that you've been doing a lot of the inner work, balancing out a lot of polarity. Like I said, you've been dealing with, the feminines have been dealing with a lot of extremes, a lot of polarizing forces. You've been doing shadow work. You've been doing light work. You've sort of been doing all of it. So let's get some more messages for the feminine, since that's what wanted to pop out. in preparation, you know, for union. Yes. So this came out in the reading that I just did for the collective. It's the energy of death. So there's like a big transformation for the feminine too. This says Gwen Abnud and the Wild Hunt. So this is the hunter that's coming into, I feel like it's releasing in the same way that the masculine has this fading fellowship. The feminine has things that need to go too. But this is also where I feel that a lot of it is, it's not so much external for the feminine as far as with the masculine, it feels like some of their networks, relationships that they've been having, friendships, living situations, work situations, all of that. For the feminine, it feels more like this is and more of an internal process where, you know, you are releasing things from the past, 14 and 13. So number temperance is 14, death is 13. So there's big shifts in the feminine's life as well. And that's coming out with the King of Shields or the King of Pentacles. Interesting. So the feminine being very focused on her stability as well, being rather business oriented, looking at, you know, what in your life is bringing you prosperity versus what in your life is keeping you stuck, what isn't growing versus what is growing. I think the feminines have really taken over as far as providing for themselves. I feel you're very, very business oriented, and you're really like in a place of being in your purpose of wanting to grow wealth inside of your life and stability. Some of you have really bossed up recently, but there's even changes inside of that for you. So I feel like it's even sort of, because again, this is like a hunt. It's a wild hunt, and there's like, he's on the horse and there's packs of horses behind him and they're flying through the air. Whereas for the masculine, the horses are all grounded. They're all on the ground and they're watching the dragon or the comet fly through the air. And so for the feminine, it's like where this is happening more in the spiritual realms. So in your higher levels of your spirituality, there's a lot that's closing out for you. There's a lot that's reconciling for you, that's leaving your life because you are casting it out, because we also see the lightning bolts there. So about sudden change, it's almost like that Uranus energy. Even it's also Pluto. So there's, again, deep transformation. I think that you've been, because again, those polarities that I've been seeing for the feminine with the temperance of extremes, it's like you're seeing these extremes and you're like, okay, what does it mean for my bottom line? What does it mean for my stability, for my self-worth? There's so much around self-worth for the feminine here. What does it mean for all of that? Like for your growth, there's wheat that's here. So about for your harvest. And I'm also seeing, again, it's internal work where you're working on releasing some of your own harder energies, some of your own polarity that you are in a place of change and growth. Yeah, feminines, you're getting the Chariot, the battle at Mount Baden. And this is where like the feminine energy is meaning business here. So you're on the horse, you're in a place of belief in yourself, belief in your mission, belief in your plans, the belief that you can do it, that you can also create the life that you want to live for yourself. That's very stable, where again, you have this great sense of self-worth. And it's also the place that the masculine is at with the 10 of Shields. So these are like, you're mirroring each other here. King of Shields, 10 of Shields. So the masculine is looking at the long-term plans. You are looking at the long-term plans. It's really beautiful. And the masculine taking on the energy of Merlin with regards to that 10 of Shields with the Magician. Like the masculine's really coming into a place of like, how can I do this? You know, believing that they can, having the belief in themselves. And with you too, feminines, you're really ready to charge ahead. Number 7 of the Chariot. So we're in Cancer season right now. Happy birthday if you're a Cancer. And this is also Sagittarius, about charging forward confidently. So this is not about staying stuck in anything. This is not about succumbing to some of the lower energies. This is not about waiting around. I don't see that. I don't see either energy really waiting around to make things happen. I see that the masculine is really being given the truth that has long been hidden about some of their connections, about this sort of place that they've been in, that it's not aligned with them, the truth being revealed to the feminine about what has been, what needs to be transformed inside of her. So very, very mirroring energies. And let's get one more for the feminine. Yes, I said you were preparing the Holy Grail. So here's where you're like, you have access to this cauldron, right? And it's blessed by the Christ and the Holy Spirit and all of that. And here's where the feminines are all in a circle and the Grail is appearing. So the Grail is appearing. Wow. And it's so spiritual. The Holy Spirit is there. So you're getting the Chariot. You are moving towards your Ace of Cups. I feel like it just got darker. You are moving towards this place where, you know, you will be reborn and renewed. It's so beautiful. So I'm actually seeing where, this is interesting, where right now it's like for the masculine and the feminine energy, you're sort of both, you're both being called to take some kind of action. The magician takes action. The magician does. As I speak, so it is. Abracadabra. The Chariot is all about action and movement. And the magician is mercurial ruled. So the masculines are planning. They're planning something. And also with the feminine, this is where you do need the balance of temperance. So it's two different polarities, two different elements of fire and water, the head and the heart, with the Chariot coming on board together. So I'm seeing where you're really in a place of mirroring. I'm seeing that if the feminines have anything that needs to go or be released, it's being released. The masculines are wishing for newness. They're wishing for higher wisdom and guidance. And that's happening for them because a lot of them have not been happy. So let's get some bridging energies. Where is the bridge? Wow. Where is the bridge? And the middle ground of compromise, the transmutation at the Tour, where I feel like it's the two of you coming together energetically and physically to come together. That's the middle ground, is where you can come together. Wow, this is incredible. Okay, so let's get the bridging energy. I'm so surprised here. Bridging energy is the Hanged Man. I'm not going to show you this card, this Hanged Man, because it may trigger some of you. It's a very sensitive Hanged Man, if you can relate to that. So Castle Perilous, and this is where the energy has felt very, very stuck. I don't want to show you this card just in case someone has a deep emotional trigger or there's some wounding around this. So this is where it has been sort of perilous, that both the masculine and the feminine understand this place of feeling stuck. You're both feeling it. You're both feeling that you've sacrificed the connection, whatever that looks like. And this is where you're both in this place receiving a new perspective, receiving guidance, psychological transformation for both the masculine and the feminine. Let's see what else. The Three of Cups, the dressing of the sacred spring. So you're both, well, let's see what else. And this could be around third-party situations, being stuck inside of karmic situations, third-party situations, and the Tower. Yes. So there's big revelations that are happening for both the masculine and the feminine. This is Vortigern's fortress. So where the masculine got the star, the fire drake, which sort of comes after the Tower, this is where the House of Cards starts coming down. And this is where you're both receiving these visions of truth. This is a truth wanting to come to light. So it's also about your connection as friends. And this is a healing spring. And it's like the spring is being prepared for healing here. And it's by the feminines. So the dressing of the sacred spring, this is where a group of feminines are around a sacred spring. And this is like inside of Avalon or inside of the forest, where there is this healing water, and it's there for healing. And it's being prepared because it is a time of revelation. So the masculines are seeing it as sort of like a cosmic disclosure. The truth is being disclosed to them cosmically from their highest self with Excalibur and the Sword of Truth and the Ace of Swords. And the feminine is seeing it through sort of like a death process, and the energy of temperance, right? Of moderation, of the merging of the opposites, the merging of polarities, two very opposing forces that are being alchemized, okay? And that because you get the lightning of the death card, and inside of this tower is lots of lightning. So this is where you're bonded. Is I feel like in different ways, both the masculine and the feminine are having these sort of tower moments, that there are things that are being deconstructed inside of both of your lives. And it always presents differently for the masculine and the feminine, but it's where you're bonded. And it's where the energies of the masculine and the feminine are getting unstuck and are preparing for this healing of the sacred spring. And the universe, this is where you're bonded. This is where your bond is, the Giant's Dance. And this is at Stonehenge, a sacred site. And Solstice, Stonehenge, 21. Today is the 21st of June, as I'm filming this. So this is the completion of this very, very long cycle. This is, you're both closing out huge cycles. You're both releasing karma. You're both releasing density. You're both moving on. There's a wisdom, and I love it, the Giant's Dance. So it's big, it's gigantic. This is the end of a huge cycle. And there's a huge energy of transformation and a victory and completions of cycles and a return to the promise of hope for both of you. You're getting the Ace of Cups. They're getting the Ace of Swords. They get Excalibur. You get the Holy Grail. This is so beautiful. And I know many of you want to hear about union. Is there union? Will we come into union? There's definite opportunity here. Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, Excalibur, and the Holy Grail. It's huge. Let's check the bottom. The Five of Shields, the Wasteland. So this is inside of the Hanged Man, which I won't show you that card. It's not that your life has been a wasteland in separation. That's not how Twin Flame works. You are in this place of separation so that you can grow, both of you, so that you can work through cycles of learning and karma and growth, and, you know, so that you can come together. But this is, I feel, has been the energy of Twin Flame. It's sort of been a wasteland, you know, of what even is this? You've lost hope. You know, this is dead. Is it dead? You know, with the Hanged Man? No, it's not dead. It's definitely not dead. Wow. And underneath that was the Ace of Wands. So it's almost like maybe you tried to reconcile. You almost came together. The potential was there. The potential was there with the Ace of Wands or the Ace of Spears. This is the Grail Lance. So the lance is an interesting energy because it's a weapon and it can both harm and heal. And so any lance keeper, anyone who uses a lance, they bear a great responsibility because this lance can harm and it can heal. It can do both. So I feel that this is what the twins have been learning, is their own power and the responsibility that each of you have with your own power. And wow, it's really intense. So inside of Twin Flame, maybe the energies have felt dead, not really alive, but there was a lot happening behind the scenes for all of you. You know, not just some of you, for all of you. There was so much happening behind the scenes. And this is also where it's the Grail Lance. So it's there to protect the Holy Grail. It's the weapon that is used to protect the Holy Grail. And only the most noble of knights can take that. And so for the masculine, it's been a test of their nobility and their truth. And that's why the truths are being revealed. There's been like, I'm feeling like this is also some kind of a deconstruction inside of the DNA. So some of you may be experiencing like, I don't know, the masculine and or the feminine health concerns, you know, things inside of the physical vessel that have been feeling very difficult or challenging. And this is where there's a reconstruction. It's a deconstruction in order to reconstruct. So that's really beautiful. All right, so let's finish up here. I don't want to make this too long, and get some messages from the masculine to the feminine. So what do the masculines have to say to the feminine on this solstice? So interesting, 21, right? I feel that the masculines are becoming more solo, with the Magician being number 1. They're becoming more solo. Honor. So they want you to know that they honor you, and that's part of the Ace of Swords for them. It's like they're breaking through the ice or this pool of water to get to you. It says honor your loved one, and you will notice your relationship becoming stronger. So they're reaching through an obstacle, through a barrier to get to you. They want you, that's part of their new truth, is that they honor this relationship. So let's get another message from the masculines to the feminines. They want to be honorable where they haven't been before. They want to be honorable, tested. They want you to know that they have been through the tests. They have been tested over and over and over again. Your strengths and your weaknesses are being tested. So they have been tested, and they want you to know that. And let's get one more from them to you. Illusion. Avoid the trap of mistaking a fantasy for a true soul connection. So they are popping the bubble of illusion right now. And if your masculines have been inside of, again, the fading fellowship, whatever that looks like for them, inside of their connections, the type of work that they do, a karmic relationship, they're seeing where they have been tested through these. I feel like a lot of them, they've just been in this bubble where they haven't wanted to look at the truth. You know, they really haven't wanted to look at the truth. And so this is where they've been tested so much so that they can break through the illusion, you know, really break through the illusion and get back on a higher path for themselves, but that they've learned so much through this process. You know, they've learned so much. So let's get some messages from the feminine to the masculine, and then we'll see where the bond is. So the feminine wants the masculine to know that she has been working on her own dreams. It says, share your dreams together and encourage each other to make them a reality. So she wants to come together with the masculine with shared vision and shared dreams. Also, again, with the King of Pentacles coming out for the feminine, that she's been actively working on her dreams, and also that she dreams of being with the masculine. She hasn't fully given up on the dream, and that's why with Archangel Michael, we see the egg down there with that dragon. So that, because that represents the feminine, because like this energy is so masculine, you know, with Michael and the Tor and the sword and the dragon, but underneath there is that little egg. So feminine is still dreaming of being with the masculine. The feminine wants to share with the masculine. She wants to be open. I felt that from the beginning. She wants to talk. She wants to reveal everything that she's been feeling, everything that she's learned, all the activations that she's had, the sadness that she's had, the transformation that she's been through. The feminine really, really wants to share. And the feminine this time around wants to bring in guidance from the divine, like wants to have that third energy as a part of the relationship, because it says, be open to accept divine guidance in your relationship. So the feminine is saying to the masculine, like, I want us to share, and I want us to have guidance from the divine. I want that to be a part of our commitment to one another, is that we are bringing in this divine energy to help guide us. Wow, we just got a bunch that fell on the floor. And wow, this is intense here. Admire. It is time to think of everything that you admire in your partner. So the feminine is wondering how the masculine feels about her. They're sort of doing this, it's not a pinky swear. It's where they're connecting their pointer fingers. So these are, I don't know, is that Mars? Is that ruled by Mars, your pointer finger? So about action. And each of them have an anchor tattooed. You can see they have the same tattoo. So the feminine wants to know, how does the masculine feel about her? And, you know, does he still admire her? Neither of them are wearing a wedding ring. So this is showing me that this is a masculine that you have not married, or for many of you that you have not married. Neither of you are wearing that wedding ring, but that you're connected by something deeper. And yeah, and also from the feminine, sorry, I'm gonna pick these up. From the feminine to the masculine, the feminine does want the masculine to know that she admires bravery. She admires truth. She wants to experience all of that. So, all right, you guys, those were the messages. I'm going to end it there. I hope you enjoyed this. I love you so very much. Take really, really good care, and I will see you all soon. Namaste.